Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the conversation. Hope everyone is doing great on this Wednesday morning. We missed you last week. I hope everyone enjoyed their break. And I know that several of you did take that time and send in videos and make that time productive. So we are glad of that. So let's make sure we are live this morning and start hitting that chat box and let's hear from you. I've missed you, so I want to know who's out there this morning. Hope everyone's doing great. I just noticed that we've got another notice from FPA that we're live, so good. Lisa, good morning to you. Allison, awesome. Andy Robinson, so good to see you this morning. I'll say something about you in a minute. Lori Bowley, Carrie, awesome. Good to see you back. Happy birthday, a week late. Would sing happy birthday, but we got a packed morning. But I'm glad to see you. Keep coming, everybody. Rebecca, Carolyn, how are you doing? Great having you on the other week. Kristen, great having you on a while back. Good seeing you again this morning. We're awesome. Bill, outstanding. Great to see you. What a group, man. Keep coming. Rochelle, how are you doing this morning? Sarasota, we love Sarasota. Absolutely. Either. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Lake Mary, beautiful Lake Mary. That's awesome. Scott at work. Minus coffee. Oh, my goodness. That's tough, man. Your birthday too, Rochelle. Let's would sing happy birthday to you as well. Hey, Daryl, good old buddy. Jessica, Dennis, how you doing? Angelo, all right. Well, I'm glad to see everybody's back on track and we're back into the rhythm and off to a good start here this morning. So glad to see everybody. Hey, Dave, good seeing you. We got a great topic to talk about. And I'm glad to see Andy Robinson on this morning. Andy and I collaborate around a lot of these leadership conversations. You know, he's an executive coach. He's done a couple of sessions for us. He helped us really think critically about how we spend our time and our day. He did the VUCA series, and many of you have told me, hey, Angela, many of you have told me that that was one of the most inspiring series of the whole. We're on 23. Can you believe it? 23 weeks we've been together doing this and doing some off the cuff and having great guests like Andy on. So Andy and I are collaborating. I'm glad he's here joining us this morning about how to wind this up. We got 3 more series within these sessions, and we want to make them great and impactful. We're going to talk a little bit about how to wrap leadership up, put a bow on it in terms of all of the topics we've been through. I was looking back through them this morning. I mean, we have touched on some really solid leadership concepts, right? And I hope that you're getting as much out of this as I am. I have to tell you, just spending the time, my wife and I collaborating on this has been a joy. I think it's making me a better leader. It's helping me understand the things that matter when it comes to leadership. And we're going to bring all that together and have a great time in Point Vedra at our Capstone project and our annual meeting. And I hope to see each and every one of you there. We've got great attendance coming. We've got great sponsor support, and we have a great interest in the Capstone project. It's going to be a great program. So thanks everybody for being here. We're going to jump into this important topic. I've got a lot to cover, but I want to see you chat it up. I mean, is there any better time to talk about purpose and meaning in leadership? Coming out of a pandemic that just seems to never end. You got a market that's disrupted and anxious because of the anxieties related to that recovery. The recovery is great. And Andy is going to join us in Point Vedra and help us with the Capstone. I'm glad you reminded me of that, Andy. And that's what part of what's going to be so dynamic about this. We're going to bring all the guns we got. We're going to really try to put a good show on for you and hopefully leave you something to think about. Good morning, Lexi. And so let's get into this topic because I just think it's a vital one right now. So, meaning and purpose, it's one of the things that I feel we all strive for every day. Most people I've worked with, most people I've led, most people that have led me, I think we all get up with intentions every day doing meaningful things and doing important work and good work. And we should ask ourselves every day, did we in our priorities and the way we chose to spend our time, we talked about you never get a minute back. Money, you can make more, you can do different things, but once that minute's gone, we've been on here almost 5 minutes. Those minutes never come come back, right? So we want them to be impactful. So when you think about meaning, one of the things, I know every one of you probably watched it multiple times, but if not, I'd go back and I'd take another look at it, kind of set the stage, help you think. It's a very motivational Simon Sinek's TED Talk on why. He talks about, it's the why TED Talk, but it really is around the work on start with why. And to give you some context to that, you could take a sporting goods company and you could say, well, they sell sporting goods, they sell camper equipment, they sell camping gear, clothing, other outdoor oriented products. But selling sporting goods may not be their mission or purpose. And so a company called RNA that's in that purpose put it this way, and I think Simon Sinek helped them some. What they do rather than all of that is they awaken a lifelong love for outdoors for all. I think that gives you a good context of taking business context, mission, vision and all that, but then put it into something that people can get behind, that can be inspired. We talk about an inspired vision, but people can get behind that and see what that looks like in action. So let's start to probe into this some, and this is where I want you to really chat it up, okay? How do you describe meaningful work? So for you as individuals, when you get up every day and you want to do meaningful things, how do you think about that? Just share with others to help give them context on how your mind works. Is your work is it work that gives you a sense of fulfillment that has a positive impact on others? A lot of people are driven by what impact they have on those around them, that make you feel you're contributing to something of value to the world. Big context, right? How you bring meaning and purpose to what you do, thinking about that, reflecting on that. How do you think about that? By giving insight and inspiration to others. We talk a lot about the importance of influence and leadership, and influence is around inspiration, passion, insight, caring. We've talked a lot about that. Sharing the lessons of your experience. Are those the things that fulfill you and get you up, get you moving? So hit it up in there a little bit. How do you put context around your individual purpose as a leader and how that purpose carries over into your work to make it meaningful and to also inspire others to come along on the journey with you as a inspirational leader, right? Today's employees want work that is much more than monetary in its reward. So Allison says meaningful work means doing things that create a positive impact. Absolutely. Isn't it interesting? Just what we were talking about right here. What they want is they want meaning and fulfilling work as well. People want to work that satisfies a sense of purpose, just like we talked about, and feel that it's worthwhile, it's useful, and it's valued. Think about it. Worthwhile. So it has purpose and meaning, and what it does, it creates value. It is useful. It solves a problem. It helps someone, and it is valued by those that it helps, right? So is meaningful work of monetary value? Of course it is. Often more so than not, right? It's where the true value resides. Connecting with our community. And so that is right. And particularly, and one of the things I didn't say when we were talking about the TED Talk at JMG, when we set up that organization, we used Simon Sinek's book of work, body of work. And we came up with our vision statement as strengthening the community we serve and helping businesses grow, right in line with what you're talking about. Meaningful work means contributing to the cause that is bigger than myself. Service above self. So spot on, Stephanie. Very good comment. I asked myself these questions at the end of the day. Was I helpful? Was I kind? Did my actions have positive meaning for someone else, for an organization? Nikki, spot on. That's a little bit like the Rotary mantra, right? Was it meaningful? Was it done? And I love that. And we all should ask ourselves these kinds of questions every day. Did I make a difference in my work today? All right. So is meaning the new money? It's an interesting question, is it not? With after COVID and all the reassessment we've done and the things that we think about, is meaning in work kind of the new money? It's a good question. Purpose tends to arise during times of transition. And this is important to remember. So no wonder this is high on everybody's list right now. Career change, educational change, personal change, you moved, whatever it may be. That tends to be a time you stop, you pause, you think, right? For many, these questions arose, of course, over the last 2 years or so. But in recent years, And especially since the pandemic, it has caused people to reevaluate their lives and their priorities. There's been an uptick in interest in purpose-driven leadership. I think if you've been watching the media or anything else, you're seeing articles almost every day on purpose-driven leadership. And I think that's why this topic is just so invaluable for us right now. Business experts say that purpose is the key to exceptional performance. Psychologists, interestingly, say it's a path to better well-being, and doctors have actually found evidence that people with purpose are less prone to illness. So when you think about your personal life, your professional life, and your health and well-being, if you are a purpose-centered individual, you're going to live a more wholesome and more complete life. In the Blue Zone works, we've done some here, having that purpose, that reason, some put it back to faith-based too. We know that having that as a core aspect of your life is one of the main reasons that people become centurions. They live to be over 100 years old. The Harvard School of Business did a study on this a while back, though, and they found that only 20% of leaders could actually clearly define a concrete purpose for themselves and the work they're doing. That's a pretty sad reality when we think about evidence-based analysis, right? Only 20%. So you put a little time and a little effort in this. We talk about work on the business. This is one of Andy's things. We talk about work on the business versus in the business and having a higher proportion of that on the business time. We need to do the same thing for ourselves, work on ourselves, work on our purpose, work on those, how those values align, and make sure that's a priority in our work. William Diamond said, and he was a researcher, did a lot of work on this topic, a path to purpose, a stable and generalized intention to accomplish something that is at the same time meaningful to the self and consequential for the world beyond the self is what's ultimately what we're all looking for. That we want it to be good for us, we want it to be good for those around us, and ultimately the world itself, right? So meaningful intention helps you prioritize your life. This is a key point I want to get to. It makes you feel like you are making a difference in the lives of others. So people with a sense of purpose, those who have a sense of commitment to goal, and a cause beyond themselves, back to what Nikki's saying here, was a helpful service beyond self, right? They are naturally take a leadership position because of those values, because of that, they demonstrate the humility that requires. They tend to have influence, so they are naturally leaders. They are out front. They have a higher level of happiness. They enjoy a greater career and life satisfaction. Not saying they make more money, don't just confuse all that, but they have a higher degree of satisfaction related to both career and life. Right? Very important distinction. Stay focused on what matters because they are centered, right, on what is important to them as their values, their purpose, and what gives them meaning in life. They stay more focused on the things that matter. They exude optimism when times get tough. Man, is that not been a value that would have been of some great importance in the last couple of years. They remove themselves from people who don't share their values and goals and from activities that don't serve their purpose. Really, really important. Show resiliency and bounce back from setbacks quicker. Thought that was interesting. Share a sense of belonging. Why? It's back to that Moyer kind of concept in the Blue Zone work to the people that live to be 100. They have a sense of belonging with others. They connect with others. They go deeper. Remember, we talked about relationships and all the other things we talked about. Ties right back to it, right? See how there's a golden thread that runs through all of these leadership topics? And they experience better health. And ultimately, and this was last on the list for me anyway, and then they achieve higher incomes because of all those other things. The income is an outcome, right? For me, it's simple. Do what you love and love what you do. Pretty easy, right? Your work is not easy to accomplish, pretty easy to understand. Your work in this world is meaningful as you make it. So that's always something to remember too. Your work is as meaningful as you make it. No, you have choice in life. You are a professional. You're skilled. You're talented. You bring a lot of value to everything you do. Remember that. And people are fortunate when you come with this attitude. And I know every one of you on here. See, the problem is we're speaking to the choir, right? You're here because you are who you are. You do value these things, and that makes you who you are. And you are an inspiration to others, I promise you. And in these days, and right now, you just can't imagine the positive impact you're having with a smile, with a nice glance, a little support. Hey, Terry, I am a Rotarian. Yes, love to serve my community. Amen. I'm a long-term Rotarian myself, and a Paul Harris fellow myself. So your words have power to uplift. That's what we've been talking about, to encourage others, to inspire them, to aspire something greater, strive for something better beyond themselves. It can give confidence and hope and meaning to all of those around you, right? It strengthens the communities we serve. It's more than the actualization, in other words, recognize it, actualization of one's gifts and skills. It's beyond that. It self-transcends are contributing to a bigger purpose beyond oneself. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about transcending beyond oneself to a much bigger purpose that you can connect to around a community of people that share that passion. And I love that smiling face, Terry. You know, we've got 4 more minutes. I got to tell you, this is a topic I could talk on for days. I probably should have broke this up into 2 or 3 sessions, to tell you the truth. But when your leading has meaning, you exude energy. You can see it in this conversation today. You can see it in the feedback in the chain. You all are passionate. You have enthusiasm around this. Yeah, so Andy says, I often ask my clients to consider their time balance between performing, getting the day-to-day things done, and transforming, improving, and making things and the world better. Spot on, excellent. Matter of fact, some of this context down here we talk about, and Andy goes back, and I give him credit, this on the business versus in the business, really gets to the distractions of in the business is really about the day-to-day activities, right? But when you do this, you have enthusiasm, you have passion for your purpose, and that passion impacts everyone around you, inspiring achievement beyond what you may have thought was even possible as an individual, but certainly as a group, right? Yep. And Andy, you're getting accolades there. So I'm going to hit on a couple of high points and I'm going to wrap this up. Purpose-driven leaders possess these characteristics. They carry themselves with a posture of purpose. They're confident and mission-minded. They are passionate about seeing everyone succeed. You'll see this in my takeaway today. I think this is something very important. It's about the body of work and the people around you. It's about being satisfied with others' success, not just your own. We've talked a lot about this over these 23 weeks, right? And to see that a purpose is achieved. They make a point to make people feel important. They address shared objectives with a healthy sense of urgency. Andy has a series on this too. We've talked about it. Healthy sense of urgency, right? They create a productive and innovative environment. Why? Because they're confident, they feel good, they want other people to win, they want the environment to be conducive to creativity and innovation because they're collaborative. They were naturally going to create a productive and innovative environment. They maintain focus on what people need to fulfill their mission, focused on people's needs, but also tied back to mission, goals, values, all these other things that create equity. Equity for you as individuals, equity collectively, and equity for your organization. They keep purpose at the center of processes and protocol. Very important. If you come from the operations side, Daryl Simon, you'll love and appreciate this. You're going to be as successful as the processes systems you have wrapped around things to get to those goals that you've set for yourself. But remember, when you layer purpose on top of that to stay at the center of those processes and protocols, you are a purpose-driven leader. They clearly articulate the meaning of the work and its purpose. They can tell that story. They model resiliency to a setback and strategic thinking for a comeback. So what they're saying is they model what resiliency looks like because they expect setbacks. Everything's not going to always work great, but then they have the strategic intent, the strategic thinking, and the thought leadership to come and create a comeback. Engage others with passion and purpose. Respect everyone who works, regardless of their job. They have a vision to tell people not just where they should go, directionally, if you will, but why. Purpose. Communicate a clear path for transition, and they turn purpose into action. Your purpose is not about you, it's bigger than you. It's about how you can impact others for a larger, greater purpose than yourself. Just what we talked about earlier. So to wrap this up, I'm going to go to my quote of the day. And it is, I love this, more men fail through lack of purpose than lack of talent. Billy Sunday. More people fail, more men, women too, but more people fail through lack of purpose than lack of talent. So what is leading with purpose? And I'm going to end this. I know I'm a little bit over. Leading with purpose is first understanding the meaning of the words leader, leadership, and purpose. Leader is someone who commands a group of people. Leadership is the ability of a leader to influence and guide those under his command toward accomplishing a purpose. And purpose is the reason something gets done. Therefore, leading with purpose means to inspire, influence, and guide people in a way that is aligned to your and your group's goals. So my takeaway for you today is be humble and purposeful in all that you do. Be a beacon. Shine your light on the good work of others. Polish the apples around you so they're as shiny as you are. And then align your passions and your values, and you will do meaningful things. You will enjoy doing them, and your purpose and commitment will inspire others to be their best. Thank you, everyone. Angela Campbell, we appreciate you being here every week. You win the book this week, Think Like a Monk, and that's by Jay Shetty, and Jim will get that to you. Hearty congratulations, and that book is all about purpose. So remember, vision tells people where they should go. Purpose tells them why they should go. I appreciate you being here. I hope you got something out of that, and lead on.